Hi friends, Suzanne here. Welcome to another Monday Makes video. For today's project, I am featuring the Playful Alpha dies. They are my favorite dies, hands down, in the history of dies, I think. I love them. And also the Hey Birthday Chick. I am using the balloon image and the confetti image from this stamp set. So I'm making a slimline card. This is a 8.5 by 11 piece of basic white. My camera does not like white. Sorry about that fogginess. I sliced it at 7 inches and I scored it at 3.5 inches. So that is how I make a slimline card. Now I have the excess piece that I cut off, and I'm just going to use that to stamp on. Why waste? So I stamped 4 of these balloons, but I only colored 3. I felt 3 was enough. The colors I used were So Saffron, Pool Party, and Fresh Freesia. I meant to pull my Highland Heather, and I don't know what I was thinking. Brain fog. So I wanted to explain a little bit about this card. I have been neglectful, a very neglectful friend. And one of my girlfriend's clients, and she's actually an old team member, she had a baby several months ago. Like, I'm pretty sure 4 or 5 months ago. And I have been a super neglectful friend. Well, COVID too, right? And all of that, like we just don't visit like we used to. And so I didn't send a card, and I'm a bad friend. So today I'm making the card. I will send it off to her this week, and hopefully she can forgive me that I'm so derelict in getting a lovely card to her. And I got this idea, this card design idea, from a fellow named Jason Luke's, I think how we pronounce his name. He is a Stampin' Up demonstrator in the United States, very talented young man. And he had a similar card, and I think he used barnyard animals as well. I wanted to use balloons, and I wanted it to make it more girly. He had more of a masculine look to his card, and I think he used the name Declan. And but it was the same number of letters, and I just thought it was such a cute idea. So thank you, Jason, for inspiring me to finally create a card for a good friend. So I am going to fussy cut these balloons out, and I know that you know how to fussy cut. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time. This video is actually going to be a long one because there are quite a bit of components to it. So initially we had to make the slimline card, which is a little bit different. So component number 1. Then I had to fussy cut the balloons out. So component number 2. Then I'm adding this is black baker's twine. I had it in my stash somewhere. It's possible that it came from a paper pumpkin. I'm not sure. Sometimes the twine I have, you just never know. But you could always use a marker and color a white twine to make it look black if you wanted black. So these are all the little colors that I have. Let's see, there's Flirty Flamingo, Soft Seafoam, So Saffron, Pool Party, Highland Heather, and Coastal Cabana. And these are little scraps, and I put some adhesive sheet on the back of them. And this is my little mini cut and emboss machine. This is perfect for that little mini cut and emboss machine. So it's very simple. You know, this is a great idea for why you want to have this little guy on your desk. So obviously there's links in the description if you want to know about the products. Okay, so I'm spelling out the name Olivia. And the one thing that I know about my friend who had the baby, she doesn't like pink. So I put Flirty Flamingo in there. It's almost like a coral. And I was iffy on the Highland Heather, but you know, Olivia's a girl, so I'm sure that she won't mind having a bit of pink in some of her blues and greens and yellows. I just tried to pick up more Easter colors, to be honest, like sort of more muted. And I did like the fact that I could go into the greens. Like, why do we have to gender-based colors? There's no such thing. So I do definitely use all of the colors. So these little squares are white, and they are 1¼ inches. No, 1⅛ inch. I should measure and give you the correct. But what I'm doing is just peeling off the back and placing it on the okay, so the squares are 1¼ I do apologize. The white squares. The colored cardstock squares are 1½ So I'm just picking up the letter. I'm removing the adhesive sheet, and then I'm making a sticker out of it. I could have popped these up. I could have used adhesive sheets for them, foam adhesive sheets, and I could have made the letters high and big. But you know what? This is supposed to be a Monday's video. It's supposed to be a little bit less complicated. This is probably the most complicated Monday's video I've done. The thing is that it has a lot of components, and it'll keep you working for a little bit, but it's still pretty simple. There's not a lot of stamping on it, and it's just got a lot of components, so it's kind of hard to categorize. So now I'm just color coordinating the letter to the square. And like I said, so the basic white was 1¼ and the little square was 1½ And then I'm just adhering all the little bits and pieces. This is what was striking with Jason's original card, was that I really like this look of how simple that is, just by putting different colored cardstocks and matting them with the color of the letter. I just thought that was so smart. And why hadn't I thought of that? So I thought it was so good. It's a nice way of using those playful alphabet dies. So I do appreciate that, Jason. Thank you very much for inspiring me. So I took it one level higher here, and I am using the confetti in all of the ink colors. So again, we have saffron, soft sea foam. This is flirty flamingo, pool party, Highland Heather, and Coastal Cabana. So I'm stamping twice of the confetti, and I'm trying to think about where the letters are gonna go. I could have probably done a better job and pre-planned where I was going to place the letters. I didn't. I just wung it. And sometimes winging it gets you into trouble. I like the way this card turned out. It's not too busy. There's just enough background. And here's a little trick. If you fussy cut out any little image like this, and that is colored, and it is on white cardstock, I just took my black marker and I am wiping along the ends, the edge of that image, so it makes it look like you have cut perfectly. So now I have dimensional adhesive on the back of my squares and my balloons. So I'm adjusting. I wasn't 100% sure where I was going to stick this. I knew I had to cut off the tail. And then I put the O on dimensionals. And then the L comes in just with regular straight adhesive, and I'm going to tuck that underneath the O. And then the I, and this almost looks like a block, doesn't it? The I block comes on, and again, there's a little bit of white space there, so you're at the bottom there, so you're not going over and like making it look too busy. I did put a little bit of adhesive down on that string so it's taut. And then I put the V and the next I on dimensionals, and those balloons are on dimensionals as well. And the string now is taut with a little bit of adhesive there. It's a nice little trick to keep it down. And the I goes on, and also the A. And I had to lift up the I in order to make the A work. I think there's a mosquito in here. So if you hear buzzing and me freaking out, oh, mosquitoes. So, and I live in an apartment building. I think they overwater the grass too much, and I think it's a little wet, which is a lovely breeding ground for mosquitoes. Okay, moving on. This is Wink of Stella, and I put Wink of Stella on the balloons and just on the letters itself. And then on the inside, I use my Highland Heather, and aha! I got you. Stupid. Highland Heather to to stamp happy birthday. This is the weirdest video. Okay, so you can see all the supplies I used today listed below in the video see more section or in the supply section of my blog. The links will take you to my Canadian online store. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.